ready to hear some noise tonight. You're just seconds away from Let's Go Blues Radio.
No doubt about it, eh? You're listening to Curt, Bill, and Jeff on Let's Go Blues Radio, the original St. Louis Blues hockey fan podcast. Take it away, boys.
Come on, St. Louis hockey fans, stand up and cheer. The Blues are back strong. This is our year. It's the Blues' turn now.
I'll write it and we'll do it live.
Yeah, it's the Blues' turn now. With that Al McKinnon slap shot, you know we can't lose. We are St. Louis, the home of the Blues. Come on, St. Louis. Come on, St. Louis. Come on, St. Louis.
Let's do that hockey.
Come on, St. Louis. All over the hockey universe, the note is the news. Everybody's digging on the St. Louis.
Welcome to Season 7, Episode 41 of Let's Go Blues Radio. We're broadcasting live on this Wednesday, March 27th, 2019. This is franchise episode number 174 all time. I'm Curt Price. The dashing and talented Bill Day and Jeff Ponder are here as usual.
I'm dashing.
One of them.
He's talented.
I'm okay. I was going to ask. Okay, good call.
Who claims dashing? Who claims talented? I'll go with that.
I'll
No
take
offense
that.
to either
Yeah,
one
I
of
mean, hey, I don't have the looks. That's why I've got a face for radio and all that.
Special thanks to the St. Louis Blues PA announcer Tom Calhoun, Canadian voice actress Karen Metford, and Smash and Gene Ackman for contributing to our intro, which, let's be honest, it's the best fucking intro in blues podcasting. Is it not? It is.
We may be.
I think it's
biased, but I agree.
it's the best intro in all of podcasts, if you ask me.
That's pretty bold. With an honorable mention.
Find one to challenge me. Do it.
Well, the Blues NHL podcast, one with Rivers and Kimball, and they have a good one. But again, that one's pretty much the same one we used to have. Very similar. Same music and half the same game clips. So that one's pretty good too. To interact with us live, or to interact with us on the show on social media, follow the show on Twitter at LGB Radio. Mine is at Curt Price, Bill's is at Billy Blue Note, and Jeff's is at jponder94. Follow us on Instagram, like us on Facebook, and the website is letsgoblues.com. And please check out the letsgoblues.com shop for t-shirts, mugs, and stickers. And if we have time later on in the show, we will open it up for listeners to join us live on the air. I know we've had some interest earlier in the day with that, so we'll try and get to it. Guys, how do you like your bagel? How do you like it cut?
Toasted.
I don't know how they do it in St. Charles. Or no, Kirkwood area. Crestwood, wherever we are now.
Kirkwood. Come on, please. St. Charles.
Whatever.
A St. Louis Bread Company bagel. I prefer it bread sliced.
Yes.
They're very large and they should be cut bread sliced, especially in an office environment.
Jeff?
I like the good old down the middle. The bread slice isn't bad. I mean, there's a lot of people bashing it today, but I don't know. I just like to just slather up half that bagel with a bunch of schmear and just go to town.
Do you ever do lox?
Lox?
Yeah, salmon. And smoked salmon.
No.
Mm-mm.
No, sir.
On a bagel?
Yeah, it's like the ultimate New York thing.
Huh.
Jewish delis all over New York. That's
More so than pizza in New York? I mean, that's a New York thing.
No, I mean there are a lot of New York things, but just in bagel and lox it's a very classic common thing.
You know, a lot of people were
You have to try that out.
a lot of people were ripping on the sandwich sliced bagel. That became a bread sliced bagel.
Mm-hmm.
That was a thing today.
Yeah,
on Twitter. I mean, I don't know why people care. It's great for the office, like you said. It's perfect.
Yeah,
someone brings in 12 bagels, and they're not just for 12 people,
right?
No. Oh no, they could be for 100 people,
right?
Each one gets a little piece, and like I said, you don't even have to. If I want a bagel, but I don't want 300 calories, I'll just take like 20.
It's brilliant.
It's brilliant. It really is.
It's
the way to go. And if you want more, you can have more.
It is good. Like I said, it's not absolutely my favorite, but I'll agree with you on the office setting thing. Well, it started because Wyszynski it tweeted out and called it St. Louis bagel cut style or whatever he said. And people just
monstrosity.
Yeah.
Sometimes his takes can be monstrous. Monstrous. No, monstrous. Whatever.
Monstrous.
You know what I'm trying to say.
Monstrous. Gotcha. You got it. You got it there, big guy. No, it's but yeah, office setting, man, it's perfect because then you're not grabbing. I mean, there's only 12 bagels and you got 25 people in the office. You grab a couple slices and you're good. I mean, you're not feeling like a pig going and grabbing a whole one and leaving a couple people without having some.
Exactly. It's like you get a cake for the office party or whatever, someone's birthday, whatever, and you got 50 people in the office. You don't cut the cake into 10 pieces. You cut it into smaller pieces. Official beers of episode 174. Bill, I see that you brought in something that you're rather excited about.
Oh yeah, fancy smancy. I'm still working on my tweet. I'm so excited. Can't even put the words together. So tonight it's KBS week. Yes. So Founders Kentucky Breakfast Stout, usually a very, very hard find. I've only been able to get it like every other year. And last week I walked into Total Wine after work on Friday, just looking to see, if there's maybe something I could pick up for the weekend. And I found an endless supply of KBS. So got a bomber, got a 4-pack, drank the bomber over the weekend. It's my first of the 4-pack.
I'm excited for you.
It's delish. It's like I'm tweeting. I'm going big and fancy, and back to the coffee stouts. Last week I think broke my coffee stout like streak. It's 5 or 6.
Okay,
but this is top 2 coffee stouts for me.
Our YouTube chat is ahead of our game feed. They said Colorado scored.
Oh.
Jeff. Wait,
yes, hello.
What you drinking?
Oh, well, sir. I'm going tonight with a favorite that I've had on the show a couple times. It is the Single Speed from Four Hands Brewing Company out here in St. Louis. Just a wonderful ale, brewed with jasmine. I don't really know what jasmine is. What's in jasmine?
Who she is.
Yeah.
The girl from Aladdin?
Yeah.
She makes good rice. I have her rice upstairs.
I tell you what, she looks pretty foxy at the end of that movie when she's wearing the red and Jafar's got her all decked out. She looks pretty good. What, you guys not agree?
No, I'm partial to when Bugs Bunny dressed up as a girl rabbit. That's my thing.
That says
I hear you. Who's the hottest Disney princess? Let's do this.
Oh, hottest Disney princess. The one I like the one from Brave. She's not a princess though, is she? Or is she?
She is at the end. She becomes a princess.
Yeah, I like that movie. That's a fun movie.
It's a good movie.
It's cool.
I'm decidedly at a disadvantage. I think the last Disney movie that I watched was maybe The Lion King. Like that came out. I don't have kids.
Yeah, but Disney. There's some Disney movies that are pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, Disney is also.
You know what though? I never saw the princess Disney movies until I had kids either. Really.
Yeah. And my significant other really, really hates Disney everything. So we don't watch anything like that in our house.
Is she Jewish?
No,
because Disney hates Jews.
That's where we're. That's from Jeff Ponder, not necessarily those of LTV Radio.
That's where this show's going, folks. Yeah, Jasmine's up there for me. I always say Belle though, because Beauty and the Beast. That's just such a great movie. So I'll go Belle.
Yeah.
Well, we all have different ones. What do you know?
Yeah. I don't know. If I had to vote, I would say Little Mermaid, Ariel.
Okay. Mine would whoop all your asses.
You're right. She would.
My beer is I went with a favorite of mine, the Sam Adams Cherry Wheat. Crisp and lightly sweet. So, I have Bill brought in chocolate to go with it, so that's it's even
It's perfect.
I love the chocolate pairing with the cherry wheat. It tastes good. So today in Blues history, courtesy of the @STL Blues History Twitter account, March 27th, 2014, St. Louis Blues. The St. Louis Blues win 50 games in a season for the second time in franchise history as TJ Oshie records his first career hat trick and first 20-goal season in a 5-1 win versus the Minnesota Wild. We got, how many wins we got right now? 40, 41. So we ain't going to reach 50. Only got 50 twice.
Yeah, this team was destined not to do that.
No,
after October.
if they had, had a bit better start to the first half of the season. March 27th, 2012, Brian Elliott of the St. Louis Blues had a record-setting night versus the Nashville Predators, winning 3-0, which was his third straight shutout, set the Blues season record with 9 shutouts in a season. He also broke the Blues' consecutive shutout minutes record, and the team tied the post-expansion record with 15 shutouts in a season. So
I remember that. I remember that very well, actually. It was a big deal. And there's a lot of people. I mean, I got a lot of national attention that because the Blues were they were first that year in goals against. They got the Jennings, right?
That was 2012. So yeah,
that was Halak Elliott. Right?
That was Halak Elliott, and
Yep.
Because Elliott, he wasn't any good.
No,
It's terrible.
not at all.
Terrible goalie, overrated.
Yeah, no.
Couldn't win before, couldn't really win as much after, so he's terrible.
Yeah,
Forget what he did here. Forget it. Doesn't matter because he was bad before and bad after, and not as good after. So what he did here doesn't matter, even though he was best in the NHL over his span here. But whatever.
Yeah.
Doesn't
And
matter.
it doesn't matter. Come on, man. I mean, let's face it. Brian Elliott, that guy, what he did in Colorado, that's all that matters.
Right? No. Early in the season, early in his career, when he didn't have it figured out necessarily, and he had his prime was here. Players have primes. His was here.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
But Ken Hitchcock gets all the credit for it.
Oh, I don't give him credit. I give him some credit. I don't.
I give him no credit.
I know. I know your thoughts on Ken Hitchcock.
I give the credit.
No.
I give the credit to Jordan Leopold.
Yeah, he had pretty solid year, right? No, he was.
Hang on. I got one to add real quick.
Okay.
Just want to say 25 years now that special hockey has been around, and the Gateway Locomotives was one of the founding members of special hockey in North America. So I believe that was today, the 25th anniversary. So Gateway Locomotives are now St. Louis Blues special hockey. So big congratulations to them on 25 years. Pretty cool that some of the grassroots of that started right here in St. Louis. Just wanted to point that out. Big day for the NHL and celebrating special hockey around North America.
And let's hope that the proposed budget cuts to Special Olympics do not go through.
Let's hope,
because that would be a sad state of affairs.
Yeah.
Yes, agree.
You find the money elsewhere.
Two of Betsy DeVos's houses, if she was able to sell them, they would generate enough income to keep that going.
It's like $18 million was cut. Is proposed being cut for the Special Olympics, and one of her 10 yachts cost $40 million. So
unbelievable.
That just kind of puts things into perspective. I'm not sure, but and then I think So
okay. Too far into politics, we're gonna get complaint hate emails.
We're just taking track so far. I have not given an opinion except for I don't want it to happen. So
yeah, I agree.
I think that's an opinion, isn't it?
That's the only opinion I'm going to give on it, that I do not want it to happen. And they say it won't, but
I don't think it will.
It's got to pass. It's got to vote. That's actually not going to pass. That might be political suicide for some people who vote on that if they vote.
Oh God, yeah. And then you got to figure even Republicans are against it. A lot of them have been, so it's not going to happen.
Speaking of shitty news, or interesting news, former Blue Yuri Laterra was sentenced to 4 months of conditional imprisonment, which means probation, for possession of cocaine. 6 grams of it. Latera obtained and possessed 6 grams of cocaine in Finland. The case stems back to September 2018, which we talked about at the time and a few times since then, when Latera was considered one of the 23 prospects in a large cocaine ring that was apparently being run out of his home.
His summer home.
His summer home, yes. Flyers placed Latera on waivers in early February. He went unclaimed. Woo! Why couldn't we have done that? And has played just 5 games for the AHL affiliate in Lehigh Valley.
Lehigh
Valley.
Lehigh.
The last coming on March 1st. So Latera is being paid $5 million this season. Thank you, Doug Armstrong, right?
Thank you, Rod Hextall.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying that,
Right.
it was Armstrong's contract. But
It was Armstrong's contract, but thank you.
Oh, we were
Rod
no,
Hextall
yeah, for taking it. Right. No, I get that. The final year of his 3-year contract, originally signed with the Blues. Is he done in the NHL?
Yes.
Well, you don't think a team would sign him for the league minimum?
No.
Okay.
No. It even, to me,
I agree with you. I wouldn't, but
to me, I don't even think this matters. I think after the way he's played for Philadelphia and how he's shown he's not even really that capable of being a 4th line winger, I don't think he was going to get another contract over here. You got to figure someone in Finland, one of the clubs he probably already played for, they'd probably take a flyer on him and spend more money on him than anyone would here in North America.
Yeah, I don't. He'd probably get that. I can't imagine
he'll go back if he even wants to play hockey. He'll have options in either Russia or Finland.
I'd almost say he'd be done in the NHL if he didn't have this.
Oh yeah,
on his on resume, he would. I mean, he just was not good anymore.
No, he had a month and a half where he was really good.
That's that. You know what? That's off the top of my head. That's might be one of the worst contracts that the Blues have ever signed.
Yes,
could be one of the worst in NHL history.
Just how much he got and how many years he got for doing. I mean, he had a pretty good half a season, and that was it. And he went downhill, and then was signed to that contract after he went downhill, and had a year left on his contract. It was so stupid.
We bitched about it at the time. Everyone bitched about it at the time. I mean, it seemed like the only one that was for that was Doug Armstrong.
I know. I remember us having a show, and we're all like, "Why? Why now? Why so soon? Let him." I mean, he was hurt. I mean, he didn't play well. He tailed off, and you see how he rebounds. Oh my God! I don't. How do we understand that? How do fans understand that? And fucking Doug Armstrong just okay. Here's $5 million a season, or $4 whatever a season.
Doug Armstrong seems like one of those guys that. You probably dated girls like him, where
I date girls like Doug Armstrong all the time.
Yeah, look just like Doug, have the same hairstyle,
bald and fat, and making bad deals at lunch.
Yep.
At the lunch table.
Yeah. No, it's reminds me of this girl I dated that it was she'd get really excited about something. Oh yeah, let's go to the Blues game. We go to the Blues game. Halfway through the game, we should get season tickets. We are broke college kids. We can't afford. No, let's get season tickets. Let's just do it. Let's go down and buy some now. No. Then the Blues lost, and it was, yeah, I'm glad we didn't do that. Yeah, knee jerk. So yeah, that's Doug Armstrong for you in a nutshell.
Knee jerk Doug Armstrong. Tice Huck in the YouTube chat, Bill, wants to know where you got your beer. Him and his dad are competition brewers in Missouri and haven't heard of where you mentioned.
Total Wine.
Total Wine. He's in Missouri.
Yeah. So this is Brentwood.
Okay, Brentwood. Total Wine in Brentwood.
In the worst parking lot in St. Louis.
Yes.
Promenade.
Yes.
Target, Trader Joe's complex.
Okay.
Yeah. It's
so there you go.
It's the old Golf Galaxy building.
Tice, you're competition brewers. Would it be possible for us to acquire a few beverages to drink on our show and feature? That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Be all about that. We'd, I don't know. You probably can't sell it, but we work out some.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to try something out on us.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like a
right.
a trial run on a test batch or something.
We do accept any form of brides. Bribes.
Brides?
Or brides. Brides too.
Yeah, brides. Yeah, lining up outside the
Bribes in
door.
the form of can't talk.
Blah, blah.
In the form of brides.
I don't say blah 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 blah. I don't say that. That's another cartoon that you probably haven't seen. Hotel Transylvania.
I've
Okay.
not seen that one. No, I'm sorry.
That's pretty funny.
No, no.
I've heard that. I've never seen it either.
It's pretty funny. It's pretty good. So the Blues they swept their 4-game homestand. A 7-2 win versus the Oilers, 5-2 win versus the Red Wings, 4-3 versus the Lightning, and 3-1 versus the Golden Knights last night. We can go ahead and start off by. Well, I'm not going to talk about all of them because we're not going back that far. So, but we have to talk about the game on Saturday.
Yes,
Tampa Bay. That 4-3 game, Binnington versus Vasilevsky. I went to Ballpark Village for this game. That was fun, and I watched the game there. That was a neat atmosphere to be in for those 3 goals. In what was it?
75 seconds.
Yeah, 75 seconds. I was gonna say 5.
Yeah.
It seemed like 5, and I tweeted out. I'm like, I can't look down to tweet. I'm gonna miss a Blues goal. This is ridiculous.
Try being in the building.
Yeah, right. You were there.
Yeah,
that's
that atmosphere was ridiculous.
I mean,
it was amazing.
They couldn't get the goals announced fast enough before the next one was scored.
Yep.
On the power play at 8:30, the first period, after a shot by Bozak and a save by Vasilevsky, a rebound shot by Dunn, another save by Vasilevsky, Robert Thomas at the side of the net roofs the rebound to put the Blues up 1-0. And as they're whose call is this? And the Blues are off and running. Who says that? Guy does the play-by-play on NBC. Damn it! So
that's
walk and running. Who is that?
Is that
that's Brad Pitt.
Whoever. It's one of.
Is it John Forslund, the Carolina guy, or is it Chris Cuthbert?
I'm not sure.
Cuthbert.
Maybe it might be him.
My favorite Canadian import to
Randy Carricker.
Tice Huck said we just did about 45 gallons total for a competition in Perryville in May at Mary Jane's, so supplies are low as of now. We're hoping to take home the gold medal in our categories for 3 years straight. Wow,
that's impressive.
Try this beer. I'll make sure to get more next time though. So we can. Okay, cool. We'll work some out. Very cool. Congratulations and good luck.
You should tweet us, Facebook us, however you want to get a hold of us. Your email address, and we'll be in touch.
Yeah, that'll work. Twitter at LDB Radio, or don't have Jeff give the email address.
No, don't. That's why I didn't mention one. Twitter at Let's Go Blues at Bill Day.
@ space. There's no spaces.
No, so these goals, yeah. I mean, you mentioned the first goal. The first goal goes in, and keep in mind, this is early in the first, and the building just erupts. I mean, just goes nuts. It's a packed house. Like the group I was with, we went to center ice before for like 2 hours, so we were feeling pretty good by the time we even walk into the building. And I mean, they scored that first goal, and it was all right. Here we go. This is great. And then, like you said, they could not announce the goals fast enough. It was just the second one goes up. We weren't even at one point, I think it was the third goal. A couple of us weren't even looking at the rink. We were all turned around oh my God, can you believe they just scored those 2 goals? And then you hear the horn go again. And just, what the hell is going on here? And, obviously, we know what happens later in the game, but at that moment, you're just thinking, this is the best freaking team in the NHL, and the Blues just put a 3 spot on them. It's impressive.
Ty Suck in the YouTube chat, and not to. We're interested in this conversation with 2 things going on at once here. So what are you guys into? Lighter or darker beers, or does it really matter? Personally, I'm into darker. Right, I think Bill is too.
Yeah, if I could see through my beer, it's a problem.
And
my motto.
Jeff likes the frou-frou stuff. So
please, Bud Light Orange.
That's my guilty pleasure.
Now I like them both. It depends, but I probably am more on the darker side as well.
Like stouts and porters and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm with you. with you guys.
Yeah, so I'll try to tie this all together. So you guys are experiencing the Blues game live firsthand Saturday night.
Yes.
I am sitting in Old Herald Brewery and Distillery in Collinsville, Illinois.
Oh, I've been there one time.
So I was there, and I was enjoying some nice poutines and a flight of beers. And I happened to check Twitter, having the game being recorded back at the house, and I see your tweet about I can't tweet fast enough. I'm like, oh well, this will be fun when I get home to watch it. So that was pretty much when I stopped paying attention, and then caught up later. And yeah, I was shocked.
I know, right?
Shocked when that game seemed like it got tied up.
Yeah, and I'm with Jeff. I was celebrating the other goal, and when the next one was scored, and I missed that one.
Yeah, I think Game Time. Somebody from Game Time tweeted out, it's a good night when Talboy can't even throw the first towel before they scored two more.
I know, right? This was the first goal, and the second one they were still announcing it, and the third goal they were counting as the third goal was scored. So yeah, that was pretty great. So 3 goals in 75 seconds
against the best team in hockey.
Best goalie.
Yes, wire to wire so far this year.
And I mean, it sounds weird giving Vasilevsky credit on some of his goals, but I mean that first goal. Right. I mean, you could just tell that Vasilevsky is an elite talent because he damn near got across to get Thomas's shot.
Yeah,
he did.
That was. I mean, he was just stretched out. He was just. You could just tell he was doing it right. So it was impressive to watch him try and make a save on a goal he got scored on, which is just like, he's fantastic. But 30 seconds into the second period, the Lightning kind of came back. So they scored right off the face-off.
Shorthanded goal,
and Shen botched this play. As he left Pietrangelo hung out to dry, Shen was positioned on the left wing hash marks in the slot on the faceoff. Puck is one backwards, because but Lightning had possession. So they won the puck forward. Shen abandons his position and heads up the ice, and which leaves a 2-on-1 down low against Petro. Petro misses on a poke check, and the puck squirts free to Killorn, who on a low shot back against the grain against Binnington beats him on a move. So that kind of sucked.
Yeah. Peng and Kelly were talking about that they had witnessed Tampa practicing set face-off plays during their ice time
and going forward
their morning skate and doing that exact thing. And if our broadcasters can catch that, why can't our coaching staff impart that upon the players?
The funny thing, I used to pick my spots when I took face-offs in games. If the defense was giving me a cushion, I'd motion to my winger. I'd say, we're going forward, and and he would just bolt forward, and I'd try and win it forward through the other forward's legs. Half the time, try and cheat before it hits the ice and hit it out of mid-air on the way down, which they would never call you. So, but winning forwards. What?
Not in our leagues.
No, ever, not ever. No one.
We actually had that called. What night was that? That was last Sunday. We had a whatever you call a false face-off. Yeah. I was like, man. Yeah, I was like, man, you don't ever see that in men's league.
I've only seen it once when it was just a terrible drop. It wasn't because we hit it early. It was because he missed the faceoff dot completely. Threw it down, stuck to his hand or something. It was missed 2 feet wide. So that, and then Tampa Bay scored 7 minutes later on a nice backdoor pass to Braden Point, who put it by Binnington on the near side, camera angle side. O'Reilly saw Point cut into the net, picked him up, didn't tie up his stick. So. And that he was kind of just free to tap it in.
Yeah, listen, O'Reilly's a great defensive talent. A lot of people are calling for him to at least be in the conversation for the Selke this year. You can't.
Sorry, that Buffalo. That was one of the fans' criticism of him is he's not going to play defense. I was mocked on Twitter for saying that he's going to kill some penalties, and they're he's not a defensive player. It's a joke defensively. But okay, go ahead.
Yeah, and it's funny too because I remember when Colorado traded him, one of the things that I was reading about was, okay, well, who's going to kill our penalties? So it's clear, to me at least, Ryan O'Reilly was probably just misused in Buffalo.
Misused, or just Buffalo fans don't really understand a lot.
Talent.
Apparently, because man, I don't know how many. I don't know how many. Man, it was so funny that early in the season when the Blues were playing shitty, and Buffalo was first in the Metro, and so all these Buffalo fans are coming out of the woodwork and they're just ripping on Blues. Oh, you got O'Reilly, last place team. You can't win with O'Reilly. You can't. And then all of a sudden the tables have turned and Buffalo fell off the table and the Blues went on this run. And now the tables are completely turned and nothing from Buffalo fans. Not a thing. I even actually went back and I tagged the guy that said that a couple times about, hey, what's going on, with the, and nothing. Didn't even reply like a smart ass or a fuck you. Didn't say nothing. He just shut up. So I'm like, okay, that's cool. that tells me all I need to know.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so on this goal,
sorry.
Right. No, it's fine. This is what we do on this show. We never stay on topic.
One more O. I caught O. You need one more O in there.
One more.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Curt. You got this.
Well, this one.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Ow!
Yeah, that's not a bad on a play where he kind of missed an assignment there.
Yeah, we're still celebrating him. But no, I mean, like I said, that's a play that 9 times out of 10 I think he makes, and every coach will tell you, every player will tell you, first and foremost, tie up the stick in front of the net, and he just didn't do it. Unfortunate, because at that point, Blues up 3-1. Not putting a lot of offense on Vasilevsky there at that point in the game, and you're thinking, 3-2 now, and it was a defensive lapse. So it's, here we go.
Riley. And then Shen's goal gave us a two goal lead again, which was a Purdy goal.
It was a Purdy goal.
It was a beauty fish.
It was poorly captured by the NHL. The NHL, when they tweeted the GIF, they said, and he does it while falling down.
Oh yeah, I saw that. I'm like, what the
fuck?
I was waiting. I'm like, did I miss something? Who fell down? He fell down. I'm like, no, he didn't fall down. Yeah, that was
Vasilevsky fell down.
Yeah,
maybe.
No. I mean that is like, wow, the epitome of situational awareness.
Oh God, yeah.
To have the frame of mind to
the goalies
realize what's happening there, and all you have to do is tap it towards the net.
Yeah, the goalie's down. That side's open, and you just got to try by any means possible get the puck towards the net in that direction.
Yeah,
and he did.
Well, you got to think like a lot of guys too are probably trying to maybe as they're turning, kick it to their stick, and then hope that they can get their stick on it so they don't get a kicking in the net goal and have it taken away. O'Reilly didn't even use his feet on that. That's so impressive. It's ridiculous.
And Barbashev made that play possible before the puck even got to Shen. Some great work to steal the puck from and harass the defender. Almost, probably could have got called for hooking. Because the way they call hooking now is that if you stick lift and if your blade's turned up and you get the glove at all, that's hooking. And it was close. I've seen hooking calls that were not as bad as that. So,
but I think we've gotten to the point of the season where we're starting to see the playoff style reffing, where whistles are,
and it was a big
fewer.
Game. It was a
right.
two good teams, and I could, and they let them play for the most part.
And I felt even more in the Vegas game, but
yeah,
we'll get to that later.
Yeah, but he and it caused the turnover to squirt Tarasenko, who then put it on net, and then Shen was crashing the net and made a move on Vasilevsky, and the rest is, as they say, history.
Yeah.
We'll talk a little bit more about Barbashev, but I mean, man, we've been talking all season about how good he's looked on the fourth line. I think we're starting to see the offensive upside of him more lately, and his forechecking prowess just leads to so many chances. And God, you got to love that out of a player like him.
Well, I mean, he really turned it up when Steen got put down on that fourth line. Like they're it's not coincidental.
No.
I mean, I think for as proud and as great a player as Steen has been, the fourth line is the best fourth line that we've had all year.
I was just going to say that I think that's a good spot for Steen. Steen's caught a ton of flack for his contract and his elevated contract and his reduction in production. So, he doesn't have a spot in the top 6 anymore. Barely has a spot on the third line, really, to be honest. I mean, the fourth line's a good spot for him.
Right. He looks great. And Barbashev, like I said, he has exploded since Steen's been down in that fourth line. Mm-hmm. It's awesome. And we're getting production from it. Keep him there.
And Steen's a guy that, your fourth line is typically energy, banging, that kind of a line. Steen can be that guy. Steen can hit. Steen's a feisty fucker.
Right. And I've witnessed, at least my observations on Steen since he's been on the fourth line, is he's moved his feet a hell of a lot more than he was when he was on the third or second.
Well, and they'll have better matchups out there too.
Right. Well, you got to figure part of that could easily be too that he's not getting a ton less ice time, but he's getting a little less ice time being on that fourth line, and maybe it's just keeping him motivated to go out and skate his all every single shift.
Steen is averaging 16:08 on the ice, which I don't know what that's broken down recently, but he's
still killing penalties, so he's gonna get multiple extra shifts.
He's in the middle. He's 15th in the team, and don't count goalies. He's 13th in ice time. 12th. Sorry. So it was 4-2, and the Stamkos scored. JT Miller, which every time I hear his name, I'm thinking TJ Miller. Every time.
Yeah.
I thought he was out of Hollywood after all the Me Too movement.
Yeah, he kind of just
wrong guy.
Killed his career. He just killed his career.
Yeah.
He's written out of Deadpool, and it's like
written out of Silicon Valley. One of my favorite write-offs of a character.
I've never seen.
They left him dead in opium den in China. It's brilliant.
But JT Miller outmuscled Bouwmeester, snatched the puck and fed Stamkos, who fired a shot by Binnington to make it 4-3 Blues. And then the Sean Farrell play, I guess you could say, the Blues replay guy.
Star of the game.
Under 6 minutes to go in the game. Power play lightning. Stamkos appeared to score on a one-timer from Ovechkin's office. Deflected off Parayko's stick and under Binnington's arm as he slid across. But the Blues replay guy, Mr. Sean Farrell, challenged it, saying or called for the challenge, saying the Lightning was offside, and they were offside easily.
Clearly,
it was like by a couple feet. And Braden Point was offside on the play, and no goal. So huge challenge, huge,
absolutely. And it takes, so it's the entire coaching staff, because it takes balls to make that call. Because what you did, you just gave up a power play goal,
right?
And you're going to give them another power play if you're wrong and you're tied.
I know.
The game swings right there.
Do you know how? As soon as they challenged it, I knew. Well, it's in replay. As soon as they challenged it, I knew. This is no goal, because there's no way in hell with a tie game when the Blues would like to have some points to solidify third and gain on Nashville. They need these points. There's no way they're going to challenge and risk in a tie game and risk another power play for Tampa Bay and then possibly lose in regulation. You know what I mean? There's no way that they were going to risk that. They had to be absolutely sure if that was going to be overturned.
And Farrell had time, to watch that, because the play developed before they scored the goal, right? They had a little bit of zone time before.
They had it wasn't a ton of time, like 15 seconds or so, 10 seconds.
That's enough.
Yeah.
I mean, they didn't score on the rush, so yeah.
Right there, it was a set play.
Yeah.
So, I was to say, a lot of times when we're watching the game, and I think Curt, you even said this on the show, you'll see a play develop and you'll say, that's probably offside. Hopefully there's not a goal, because then we have to sit through the replay. And I see that all the time. Like, I'm always like, oh, I think that play was offside. I mean, maybe it was from the angle I was sitting behind one of the nets. I didn't even notice Braden Point being clearly offside. And then when they started showing the replay up on the Jumbotron, I was like, oh yeah, he's offside. He's way offside.
Yeah.
That's a great call by Sean Farrell to notice that and say, hey, we got to challenge this. And like you guys said, I mean, you have to be sure in that situation. You absolutely have to be with the points going on the line and possibly having another power play against Tampa Bay power play.
And late in the game too. It was late in the game. So they weren't gonna piss away that point.
Yeah, let's face it. Vasilevsky gave up a couple goals there in the first period, but outside of that, he was looking great. So, Tampa Bay scores another power play goal there. You're probably losing that game in regulation.
Yeah. And Kucherov missed a wide open net during that goal mouth scramble.
Yeah.
That this seemed to take forever to that was one of the longer scrambles you're going to see where the puck just could not get covered or
felt
cleared.
like you were watching the live game in slow motion.
Yes. And to be honest, and I tweeted this out, and to be honest, it's karma that Kucherov missed that open net because he did cross-check Steen down a couple of 2 or 3 seconds before that to free himself up to be able to take that shot. So he missed, which is karma for the no. I mean, it would have been a ticky-tack penalty based on the situation, but technically it was a penalty. So yeah.
And yeah, I mean, I think they said on the air he missed wide, but on the replay it was high.
Well, it's both. I think it was both. Right. I think he missed high and wide. He totally gripping the stick too tight. I don't know.
Yeah,
he Stepniak'd it.
Yeah, he totally whipped it.
Binnington stopped 39-42. Vasilevsky stopped 22 of 26. Blues were 1 for 2 on the power play, and Tampa Bay was 0 for 3. Blues win 4-3. That was a fantastic game. And in between periods right now, 2-0 Colorado. Right now,
2-0 Colorado.
So
currently showing highlights of
Dallas and Calgary, and Dallas is winning 1-0. Gotta hate Dallas.
Yeah.
Next game, 3-1 win versus the Golden Knights on Monday. Binnington back in the net versus Malcolm Subban. The Blues. After this game, the Blues win this game 3-1. They are 17-0-0 now with Shen, O'Reilly, and Tarasenko as a top line. 17-0-0. That I mean,
that's a mind blowing.
That is unheard of. I mean, I
almost want them to take them off the line right now and put them back together in the playoffs, just so we don't jinx that.
I mean, show me a line that's been put together that's we've had a better run than this. Any team ever. Yeah. I mean, granted, they haven't been with injuries and stuff. They haven't done it consecutively, obviously. But
it's like Perron's point streak.
Right, exactly.
Well, and I mean,
17. I think it ended at 17.
Yeah.
You think of some of the great lines we've seen over the years. I mean, obviously you've got you go back to the Fedorko and Fedorko, Sutter, and what was the
Babbage?
Yeah, Babbage on that line. Yeah, I mean it's a hell of a line of Blues history. Dimitra, Kachuk, Mellenby, Turgeon, Drake Young. I mean, you think of all these great lines the Blues have had, and I mean this is right up there with them. I mean this is I mean, especially when you look at the numbers, not just there's the way they're scoring, but the way they're dominating games, and the stat shows that 17-0-0. That's insane.
Hawaii Blues fan in the Hawaii Blues fans Blue Note fan report is how it's reading in YouTube chat. He says the Knights fans treat Subban the way we treat Allen. Is that right? They're on him like we're on Allen.
I don't know.
It can't be.
Really? I don't think Subban's that bad of a goalie.
I can imagine. I know. I can imagine any fan base being on a goalie as much as on Allen.
Yeah.
Okay. I would. If that's the case, that seems wrong. He says yes.
That seems racist.
That's Bill.
Not
going there.
Well,
God, Bill.
Sorry.
You're terrible.
Charge discussion early on.
All right. I don't see color, so yeah. I don't know. I don't know what that means. That's
he ain't doing the Blues any favors tonight. That's for damn sure.
No, he's not.
Not that we need it. We should do it on our own.
Maybe it's not so much that they're just all over. I am connected to a YouTuber that does what I do for the Knights. Okay, so he knows a guy who does YouTube stuff for the Knights, and that's what he says.
From Hawaii?
Pure cane sugar. That's the one. You know how long I've waiting to say that? Whoo!
Thank you, guy.
Oh. Such an idiot. Late in the first period against the Golden Knights, Barbashev scores after a giveaway by Malcolm Subban, which, maybe I after that play, I'm sure that Knights fans were like, damn it. Sanford grabs the giveaway, which, hey, Sanford, Sanford has shown a little bit more the past couple of games. He's still frustrating, but he's actually producing at times and doing good things too, in addition to his goddammit moments. So Sanford grabs the giveaway behind the net, centers to Barbashev, who beats Subban near post, who didn't seem to be fully set back in his net after the giveaway, which was behind the net. So, and then Carlson scores for Vegas, tied up after a rebound and buried it into the open side. Late in the second period, O'Reilly is sprung on a breakaway from Jay Bouwmeester.
And a hell of a pass by Bouwmeester on the tape.
I mean, that guy, let's sign him to a 3-year deal. This offseason, 3-year deal. Let's go about $3 million per.
You're killing me.
Let's do it.
I think I'd rather talk about the Yzerman goal.
Shit, I don't think I'd sign Mark Giordano to a 3-year deal. He and Bouwmeester are the same age, and he's got more points. And he's been Norris candidate. Did he win? Did he win the Norris?
No, he never won.
Yeah, because
the 1 year he was going to, he got injured.
Yeah.
Mike Myers says in the YouTube chat, just say no to a Bouwmeester extension. I'm mostly kidding. 99 kidding.
1 year. 1 year.
We talked about this on last show, I think it was, and I said I'd be okay with 1 year for cheap. What, a couple million? I think I said ish. Yeah, I was like, I'd do that 1 year, but Jeff said absolutely not. And I think Bill was on board with 1 year.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I've said this, I don't know how many times, that I was wrong about Bouwmeester being, should have been put out to pasture, I think was what I used to say.
Well, based on
he sucked.
You were under the your opinion was based on the assumption that he was being put out there when he could contribute and play.
Right.
When he was, that apparently
right.
He was put out there when he should not have been.
But my opinion went too far and projecting that his career was done. He is showing that he is a very effective NHL defenseman at this point in his career when used properly. And
Bill, at that time, given what we knew, you were right. He wasn't an NHL defenseman. As far as we knew, that's all he had to offer. So again, I said this last week, and then Curt just said it too. That's on the training staff, that's on management, that's on coaching. When you see a guy struggling health-wise like that, you gotta sit him. You gotta get him right. And they just never did.
Midway through the third period, the Blues got an insurance goal from Sanford, of all people, who scored off his chest. Shot by Bertuzzo, saved by Subban, and the puck hit Sanford in the chest as he was going down while crashing the net. Some reports had him tapping the net with a stick. I don't think he got it with a stick. I think it was off his chest and in.
Oh yeah.
So
was it that wasn't that when all the assists except for one came from defensemen in that game? Is that right?
I didn't hear that. Is that right?
I'll check. Vamp.
Well, no, I got it right here. That's the
except for the Sanford assist to Barbashev, right?
So Sanford to Barbashev, and then there was Bouwmeester and Parayko to Riley, and there was Bortuzzo and Potential to Sanford. So yeah, all except for one.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, that speaks volumes about the Blues' defense. That's
they're if they're not leading the league in goals scored, they're up there.
They're up there.
Yeah, they've been fantastic contributors, and we've said this on the show many times that and this is not rocket science or rocket surgery. This is just the way it is. When you get contributions from your defense on offense, you're assuming your offense plays the way it should, then you're gonna do quite well. That's secondary scoring, so it's fantastic. Let's see. Tice Tuck says, I wouldn't sign him back. Enjoy, and I guess Bowmeister, enjoy and appreciate what he's done for us at this point, but realize that his ship has sailed and we have to move on from him. To be honest,
Yes.
And he also says, to be honest, Mac wouldn't be a bad move. He's not a point producer, but he's the physical presence that Sanford isn't, and physicality goes a long way in the playoffs. Mac, was that
McEachern?
Was that a conversation?
Oh, McEachern.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah.
And Jesse Hill says, meh.
Yeah, I mean, I talking about Sanford. You mentioned it, and we talked about it last week to a pretty longer extent. I like his game. I still do. I think his offensive production he's not that type of player. Maybe he's being thrust into a role where you kind of expect to see better hands on the player, but defensively he does a good job. He's not coughing the puck up at the wrong time. He's just not the offensive player that maybe we kind of thought he was, especially earlier in the season. But yeah, I agree. If you're going to take anyone out, I know that I've just taken such a 180 on this guy. I'd put McEachern in over Fabry at this point. I like McEachern's game, but
Fabry's not playing at all.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I know a lot of people would say put Fabry in over Sanford. I'd put McEachern in over both of them.
Yeah, I'm not, and even Jim Rutherford commented about, he kind of like agrees, like, yeah, not sure why Sanford's playing. He was like commenting on all the social media Blues folks, wondering why Sanford's getting so much. He's starting every game, and I think I mean he's been better the past couple games. He's doing some stuff, so I'm not as down on him as I was a few games ago, but I'd rather see Fabry. I'd rather see, I guess, McEachern, even though he kind of tailed off too. But again, Sanford wasn't doing anything for a long time.
At this point, I can tell you exactly why Zach Sanford's playing over these other two players. The Blues are winning. You don't make any changes when they're winning.
Oh, I get it.
I know you get it. I know you get it. But for everyone that's been bugging JR about it, it's like that's the only answer you need. They're winning games. They're playing well. I mean, even the games they've lost, they've looked good. So there's no point in making a change just to make a change.
It's like goaltending. They're winning with Binnington. You play them. You're winning. Who cares? I mean, granted, he's been very good, but I mean, but if he wasn't great, but we're just scoring a bunch of goals him in net, so what? We're winning. Who cares? Play him.
I do.
Oh, man.
Granted, he's not Jake Allen.
Well, whoever the team, whatever roster, goaltending and skaters you put out there, whatever gets you the job done and gets you wins, that's what you roll with. I'm sorry.
Right. And coming off a 4-0 homestand, if we see any major lineup shifts going into the game against the Rangers, who are outside, not going to make it.
Yeah, they're way out. Yeah, like 12 points out or something, 15 points out.
Yeah.
And Korak today, I think, said that, today, all 25 players were in skating in practice. So that's a great sign. He haven't said that in a while.
Right. It was the first time that they had the full complement.
And you know what this reminds me of? The Cardinals in 06. When they had a season that was really shitty, and they kind of turned it on at the end of the season when they got extremely healthy. They were finally healthy for the first time all season, going into the playoffs, and they went on a tear.
Yeah,
just saying.
That would be nice.
Not to steal.
It would be nice instead of the season-ending key shoulder dislocation injury that we've had
always
over the
happens
last 4 years.
Right.
4 playoff years.
One of my favorite things that somebody said to me on Twitter, I think it was 2 years after the 06 team, somebody was giving me trouble about the Cardinals, and I just said something. Yeah, well, how many World Series has your team won? I pulled that card, and he said, "Oh, how does it feel having the worst team, or the worst World Series winning team win like your team in 06?" And I said,
fantastic.
I said it feels pretty damn good.
Like, who gives a fuck if if your team won 86 games? You won you know what? That almost makes it better.
Yeah.
Because no one you're always the underdog the whole way, and you're defying the odds, and it's that much more exciting because it's unexpected. If you expect it, yeah, you're excited, don't get me wrong. But like in 2004, we expected it didn't happen. In 2006, we didn't expect it, and it happened. It was tremendous. And 2011 too, same thing. Because we're trailing in game 6, and the game was over like 10 times, and we came back. Oh, so that's the shit you remember.
Some comments here in the YouTube chat that we should touch on. I think Bill will like these. Jesse Hill says, I'd take Bill and Net over Allen. Tice Huck says 11 out of 10 would take Bill over Allen. And then Hawaii Blues fan says, yep. And Tice Huck says, I'd take Curt's computer in Net over Allen.
Okay. I have dual monitors. So it'd take up some space widthwise.
Those are wider than Turk's pads.
And do I get my laptop too for like a blocker? Is that what works?
I appreciate the comments. They have it strapped on the pads in over 10 years at this point, but
No.
Well, Bill, what have you strapped on in the last 10 years?
Yes. Okay. I'll just defer to Bill, and Bill can just talk for a while. You at the floor?
We don't have enough time to
Why?
cover this.
Jeff's getting out a pad and paper. Why are you taking notes, Jeff?
I'm sketching actually.
Oh, like one of your French girls?
Yes.
Binnington stopped 25 shots in that game. So he's again. Blues have avoided now UFA status for Binnington in the offseason. So he will not be a UFA. He'll be an RFA, which is a restricted free agent, which means the Blues, if someone signs an offer sheet to him and he signs it, the Blues can either match. If they don't match, the team takes him. The Blues get compensation based on the amount of money he signed for. So basically, the Blues will retain they'll keep him more or less. That's not going to. He won't leave. No Ben Bishop situation here where he's moved for to avoid that, but. So Binnington, a lot of talk on Twitter and social media about Binnington and the Calder conversation. So and it's interesting, and I think we can talk about this for a little bit. So he's 21-4-1 now, a 9.30 save percentage, 1.81 GAA. He's a huge reason why the Blues are where they're on the standings, saving the day and doing what Jake Allen couldn't do. And that's give the Blues consistently good to great goaltending and stealing games when necessary. So does he have a shot at the Calder or being nominated for the Calder?
I think it's two different questions.
Right.
The first question being that does he have a shot at the Calder because of who is voting for him? I say no. I think, and I had a friend of the show, somebody who listens all the time, my friend Jason, says that he said to me because I put that question out there, at this point he has to at least be considered, right? And he said he thinks that everyone made their mind up in December, and he's probably right with the tear that Lars Pettersson went on and how he's kind of doing it kind of all on his own. But I mean, my point was, and this is the other question, does he deserve to be in the conversation? And that answer is yes, because he has not only has he. Listen, if Lars Pettersson did the exact same thing that Binnington did, that he just turned it on, started scoring goals, and now Vancouver's in the playoff hunt, 100% give it to Lars Pettersson. And I'm not saying that, and I'm still thinking that at this point I would probably side with Pettersson, but something that and this is something that Lance from the Drop podcast brought up. He said, that it's an individual award. It's not like the MVP. It's not like leading his team. They don't consider that. Well, why the hell not? I mean, and I know Phil Maroon had jumped in too and said that he doesn't think that it's going to happen, that he should be up for the Hart. Yeah, that's a nice sentiment, but I don't think that's going to happen. He says he's a better shot at the Hart than he does the Calder. I just think, you look at the team's performance, especially when you're factoring a goaltender. I mean, He's the number one guy in net. We talk about all the time on this show about how that's the most important position on the ice. And if he's leading his team back into a playoff rush, last place. They were last place. Now they're going to possibly still have a good chance here to take second in the Central, maybe even first. It's kind of a long shot at this point, but they're in that conversation because of Jordan Binnington. So if you ask me, is he worthy of being in it? Yeah, and I do think he gets a nomination, but I do think it's still going to go to Lars Pettersson in the end.
Yeah, no, I agree completely that well, one extra point I'll throw in for Pettersson getting it is that, you know, this is a media voted award, right? And if it's a media voted award, they've, you know, Canadian media needs to give it to a Canadian, you know, a kid that plays in Canada. Nothing against him. He's had an incredible year. He's got a 22-point lead over the next rookie scorer.
Yeah,
but he has not, like, Binnington's contribution to the team, and I think this may be where Phil Maroon's coming from, has been much more valuable to the team and getting them into the postseason, whereas the Canucks are, you know,
right,
you know, still potential lottery winners.
The actual wording for the award is the most proficient rookie. So I know that you mentioned Lance's comments, Jeff, and Lance has been trumpeting Pettersson for a while, and this is a few weeks ago. I think this was where people were saying Binnington, you know, could be, you know, the types of fans I'm talking about. Binnington for the Calder, and but you know, he said, well, no, it goes to the best rookie. It doesn't necessarily go to the best rookie. It goes to the most proficient rookie, which it's not. That's not really. It's how you define and apply proficiency to, you know, this award. So, I agree with you guys. I don't think he's going to win it. I do think he's in the conversation. But to be honest, what if Binnington leads the Blues? What if they do overtake Winnipeg and finish first in the division? Does that make a difference to you?
Not to me, because I think, and I mean, unless he absolutely implodes in these last couple games, for me, it's just a matter of, you know, even if they finish third, look at how far they came. I mean, yeah, first maybe it throws some icing on the cake for maybe somebody else, but for me, it's this team has, and it's not even just the points, you know. And I know we talked about how the Blues, you know, surged and every other team in the West was kind of falling. But even with that included, to see where this team came from when he took over the net, that's what's important to me. And he is light years ahead of Pettersson in terms of what he's been able to provide his team and lead them to where they need to go. That's
interesting too. And it's almost like there's a shame there's not some kind of recognition that, I mean, I guess the nomination for Calder, if he gets it, which he should. He should get. There should be some kind of recognition for that, because, like you said, this is the goaltending. Is that the goaltender is the most important position on the ice. The most weight is on him. I mean, the team can play great, and if he messes up once, you know, or twice, the game's over. So you lose. So there's so much pressure and weight on a goaltender. Pettersson, and not to discount what he's done, he's been fantastic, and he's probably going to win it. But you can hide a poor player amongst your forwards, you know, or a rookie scorer who's poor defensively. You can hide him. You can play matchups, and you can hide him. You can put him in the best possible position to win. Binnington's out there against everybody. He's a guy out there against their top line trying to score. Tampa Bay the other night held the door, and went on that huge run in February, playing all those great teams. Yeah, I'm. It's a shame there's almost not something else that you can, you know, most valuable rookie as opposed to best rookie, because they do have, actually, the MVP of the league. But there's always an argument as far as like, oh well, he's the best player, but he's not the most valuable player. So,
and that they tried to answer that when, you know, I think when they brought in the Ted Lindsay award, right? The players voted best player. But so another thing I think that works against Binnington and the Calder Trophy argument is that he's been around hockey for a lot longer. Pettersson is what, 19-year-old rookie, and he's insanely good. Like
Binnington's 25, right? 25,
yeah. And
that's true.
The highlights, the games that I've gotten to see Pettersson play, he has elite talent, and he has, had he not gotten injured, maybe. And I think this is the argument that you'll get for why, he's even more valuable to his team than Binnington. Had he not gotten injured, Vancouver's probably in the playoff mix, but at least in a wild card spot. But I don't know. I think Binnington.
How many? He missed like 10 games or something.
Yeah, and
8. I think it was 8.
And so Vancouver was on a roll when he went out, and they fell flat.
They're out there right now. They're out of the wild card by 7.
Yeah, I think, aren't they pretty much considered eliminated at this point, though?
They're out.
I don't think mathematically, but it's pretty damn close.
Well, they're out by 7 points, and they've got 5 games left. So unless the matchups work out where they can't gain enough ground,
yeah. But I don't know. I think at the end of the day, what you'll see is Binnington finish second. Because coming into the season, they're saying Rasmus Dahlin was going to be the guy that wins it. Nobody expected Pettersson to have the season he's had, and Elias Pettersson's had an insanely great year. Binnington, nobody expected him to play in the NHL like a single minute.
Right.
And he's been the one of 2 major impetuses to lead the Blues for that. What is it? We've seen it a whole bunch. Korak tweeted it, Rutherford tweeted it. It's only the 3rd time that a team
that has been in last place after 20 games.
Right. Well, no, after January 1st.
Oh, well, I think this is only these. Well, okay. It's only happened one other time in NHL history where a team that was in last place came back to win the division after 20 games. But I don't know about the other thing.
Right. So I think it's like
January
3 to 5 times in NHL history that a team has gone from last place after January 1st to even making the playoffs.
Right. It was January 3rd. They were in last place.
Right.
Yeah.
And, it doesn't look like they're going to clinch tonight. They'll do it on their own Friday night.
What the hell, Colorado? Or what the hell, Vegas?
Yeah. God damn it, Malcolm Subban.
Give him Jake Allen.
Yeah, I got to tell you, if Binnington were to go, and not give up a goal the rest of the regular season, and Pettersson still won, I wouldn't be upset. I'd be like, oh yeah, he's deserving. We're all kind of pumping the tires here at Pettersson. It's just, I will be shocked, and I will be a little upset if Binnington doesn't at least get a nomination, because and you got to think about it too. I mean, that's exciting. The fact that kid, at the end of the day, this is his first NHL season, first full NHL season where he's actually up here with the big team, and he's going to go to Vegas for the awards ceremony. I mean, that's a big deal. And so he just at least deserves that recognition to be kind of, stood up in front of everybody else in the NHL, with the Sidney Crosbys, the Alexander Ovechkins, and say, hey, this guy belongs here because he had a hell of a season.
People say that the Calder is not a goaltender award because goalies don't win it. Well, how many times do you see a rookie goalie win? It doesn't happen that often.
Andrew Raycroft.
Well, you're going back a ways. I mean, how many times do you have a goalie that come in as a rookie and do something like this? Wah. It doesn't happen that often. As a rookie, a goaltender, usually you come in, you're a backup, you get your feet wet, whatever, and you're not, but to take the reins like this and do what he's done has been, that's why goalies don't win it, because it's so fucking hard for a rookie goalie to do this. So that I think that should be, in the discussion too. But
well, and correct me if I'm wrong here, because I think I'm right here. Phil Maroon, one of the things that he threw out on Twitter was that Andrew Hammond didn't get any consideration the year he did it. technically he wasn't an NHL rookie, I believe, because he was 28 years old.
Right.
He's a first-year player, not a rookie.
The,
So if you want to use that argument, that's bullshit.
right, the Sergei Makarov rule.
Yep. Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. So the scenario last night was for the Blues to make the playoffs. Chicago was at Arizona. Had the Hawks beaten the Coyotes, the Blues would have clinched a playoff spot. However, that also means that the Avalanche would have had a better chance of making the playoffs. So, and we're not going to clinch again tonight based on this game, how it's going, unless there's a big comeback. So I want to get your guys' take on this, and I don't know if I've heard how you guys weigh on this. So, are you like on the in the boat where clinch as fast as you can? No matter what happens, clinch as fast as you can. Because a lot of people were on board last night with just if we can clinch, do it, great, fine, good, as soon as we can. But I think looking at the bigger picture, I think, and this is my stance on it, that we're in. We're not going to miss the playoffs. We are in the playoffs. Don't worry about us not clinching. We'd have to lose out, and other teams would have to win out for us to even possible. So it's not going to happen. So personally, I want Colorado to miss the playoffs because they eliminated us last year. We've talked about this. We want them to crash and burn. So Stan Kroenke owns the team as well, so that's another reason why I want the Avalanche to fucking crash and burn. So I was I saw Randy Carricker tweeted this out yesterday on about he was rooting for Chicago last night. And I was like, I responded, I was like, hold the phone. There's no need to panic and do something crazy like rooting for Chicago in a game where you don't have to. Because if you're rooting for Chicago to win, then not that it makes a difference in the game outcome, but if you're rooting for Chicago to win, then you're rooting for a Blues arch rival, which is just sacrilegious for one. But two, you're rooting for the Arizona Coyotes to have a lesser chance of making the playoffs, which would increase the chances of the Avalanche making the playoffs. And that would help Kroenke. It would be beneficial to Kroenke, or would, just something good would happen to him, something he owned, which I'm against. So it's funny because Carricker replied back and goes, "You've changed my mind." And so I was listening to the Fast Lane last night on 101 ESPN, and about 15 minutes or something, and he goes, "I've changed my mind on the way the way I'm rooting for the game tonight, and I'll tell you why after the break." And after the break, he comes back on and he says, "I've changed my mind." Curt Price replied to me on Twitter and said, explained why, and I agree with it. So I'm like, that's cool. I'm changing Randy Carricker's mind. You're welcome, Randy Carricker.
Podcasts influencing traditional media.
Yes.
It's beautiful.
That's why people need to listen to the show if they want to talk hockey with their friends.
Yeah, it's amazing with St. Louis media involved. If you get three guys who actually understand hockey, the stuff you can learn.
Oh, isn't that something?
Mm-hmm.
Right, Brad Thompson?
I mean, yeah. You know what? Yeah, he interviewed. We talk about this.
We talked.
Wyshynski.
We did.
He interviewed Wyshynski, and I'm like, Brad Thompson interviewed. I mean, I love Brad Thompson. I think I like him on the radio. It's fantastic talking baseball, but he's not a hockey guy. You get your hockey guy to interview Wyshynski and whatnot. It was kind of weird.
Quick story about that. When one time I had to fill in for back when I was with 920, I filled in for Frank Cusimano's show with two other guys on and they had TJ Moe, and I don't remember what the other guy's name was, but we all filled in, and we were told right before the show started, we're having Greg Wyshynski come on, and the other two guys just looked at me and they go, "Who the hell is that?" And I said, "Boy, I'm glad I'm here." And and I handled the whole interview, did the whole thing. They didn't talk for 15 minutes. We go to break and they just go, "Holy shit, if you weren't here, that would have been the hardest interview of our lives."
I did listen to that show. I remember that. Ty Suck said in the YouTube chat, "I know the Blues and Blackhawks will always be a big rivalry, but doesn't it seem like over the past 3 years it shifted to a Blues versus Predators rivalry that's taken the spotlight more?" That's always gonna be. I think. Well, the Blues and Predators have a history now. I mean, they're close geographically. It's just the way it works. And yeah, I agree. And Chicago is not challenging you for if Chicago were in the mix with us right now, it'd be equal. To me, it'd be the same. Predators, Blackhawks hate it. Just if they're out of the playoffs, it's still a hate for them, but it's not intense for me.
Right.
Because they're not.
If Stan Bowman wouldn't have run out of ways to figure out how to only pay 2 players to play,
Right.
and they were still relevant. Yeah.
No
it's a different
LTIR.
story, but yeah, I think it's, the fact that the Hawks are ultimately not relevant, at least when it comes to the playoffs. The Blues missed out by a point last year, but the Hawks they're not going to make it.
No. I mean, they're going to come close, but they're not going to make it, and that's even better, actually,
because screws their chances at the lottery,
and their draft pick will not be as high. And yeah, that's so if they miss it by a point, that's like the best case, and they'll miss it by like probably 4 points, something like that. So if the Golden Knights beat the Avalanche in regulation tonight,
they just scored.
Oh, so the game's half over.
Walnuts.
Hey, and the game's half over.
You never know.
So
the Blues in 2001 taught us the game is never over.
Would you rather the Avalanche make the playoffs or the Coyotes?
Coyotes.
Me too.
You, Bill? For sure.
Yeah,
I'm weird. I've always had a soft spot for the Coyotes. I think it goes back to the days when they first moved from Winnipeg. I was always a big Kachuk Roenick fan, Shane Doan as well.
Roenick fan?
When he was with the Coyotes when I was a kid, yes, I did.
I could never get out of my head that he was with Chicago, and
it's funny because I did not like him at the beginning of his career, and then I do not like him at the end of his career. So, but yeah, in the Phoenix days, for whatever reason, I just liked that 1-2 punch they had. And then since then, I was always a big Brizgalov fan when he was there, and now I love Dave Tippett as a head coach, and so when he was there, I was a big fan of that. So I've always had a soft spot for them. I always want to see them succeed if the Blues don't. So if we could see Arizona in there instead of the Avalanche, I'm all for that.
The Anaheim Ducks have been eliminated from the playoffs for the first time since 2012. Thoughts and prayers for Corey Perry.
Ryan Kessler.
Ryan Kessler. So sad.
Yeah, I was surprised when we were doing our all-time hated players. 2 Ducks made my list.
Yeah, Perry made my list. I almost put Kessler on, and I didn't.
Yeah,
I don't like Getzlaff either.
I don't. He's behind Perry and Kessler for me.
Yeah. I don't know. I think the fact that he prematurely balded.
That's punishment enough.
Yeah. He gets a pass.
Poor Kevin Shattenkirk.
Oh, he just needs to shave that thing. He did shave his head. Didn't he shave
it? He did. He finally did.
God, what are you doing? It's like you got this I don't know, 6-inch long peach fuzz on top of your head. Shave that shit off. What are you doing? It doesn't look good. Just the bald head thing is kind of it's acceptable, fine now. Just accept it. It's good.
Ask our friend Doug that has joined the show a couple times
about
Zed. Yeah, he looks good with a bald head.
Oh, I don't see bald. I don't know.
He's bald, right? Is he bald?
I don't know.
I thought he was.
I don't recall.
If he's not, I just really upset him.
Why? Why is being bald a negative thing? I'm not sure I understand what you're saying.
No. Shut up, Curt. Move on to the next thing.
I have a glorious full head of hair. I'm not sure, I don't know, but maybe someday.
Zed says, "Damn right I do." So he is bald, I guess.
Okay.
Good man. It's a good look.
So the Money Puck, everyone's seen this chart, I'm sure, if you're on social media. The moneypuck.com's playoff percentage chart, where the Blues are, and this is from yesterday. I think today they're 100%. Is that right? Well, 99.91 anyway. They're to make the playoffs. And this is interesting because to make the playoffs, they're a lock pretty much. Make the second round 62.9%, which is cool because we're going to play Nashville in the second round. So they like
first round.
first round, right? So they like us there, and then to make the third round, 39.6% chance to make the third round, which is the second best percentage. Is the second, yeah, to make just like a half a percentage point behind Tampa Bay to make the third round, and then to make the finals, 21%, and they have 11.4% chance to win the cup, which is second in the NHL behind Tampa Bay, which is at 15.1. So moneypuck.com likes the Blues.
I have not. Do they publish their methodology? Because I haven't looked it up.
I've seen this a number of times on Twitter.
Right.
It gets shared a lot, but I have not seen the methodology,
Right.
which is probably pretty important. To be honest, I'm making the playoffs based on the schedule after February. I get, because we had an easy schedule. I understand that methodology, but and getting past Nashville, I can buy that because we've played very well against them. I understand. Okay, that's our probable opponent, and that's who we play, and I get them liking the Blues. But man, to go a lot farther and to, I mean, I'm not saying they can't. But I'm not used to seeing this where they, you know what I mean? They think that we have the second best chance in the best chance in the West to make the finals out of the West. So we are favored by moneypuck.com to make the finals out of the West. And according to them, well, I guess we'd lose to Tampa Bay. Yeah. But based on,
you also got to, I mean, you think about it. Yes. I mean, that's exciting. That's cool. And when was the last time we saw something like this? Probably 2000, 2001, where they were really this kind of favored. But at the same time, Tampa Bay's favored all the way through. How many President's Trophy winners have won the cup? You know, right. I mean, it's
five out of like 21 or something like that, or
something like that. For a while there, it was like every 6 years that it would happen, and it's just like, I mean, it's not great percentages. So it does just go to show you that it's a second season.
Is Chicago the last team, the last President's Trophy winner to win the cup? Is that right, or has that been someone since then?
2013.
I'm not sure.
I think that's right. I think you're right.
So, and games remaining for Winnipeg, Nashville, and St. Louis. So the Blues do have an outside shot at finishing first in the division. They'll need Winnipeg to not play well, but their schedule's not overly difficult either.
It's the worst of the three, though.
It is the worst of the three. I get it, but I mean, they're playing the Islanders, Montreal, Chicago, Minnesota, Colorado, Arizona.
Right, all teams that are in playoff contention.
It is, and and so those teams, depending on where they are at the time they play them, that they could be hungrier than Winnipeg. So I get it. Nashville's schedule is not. I mean, they play Pittsburgh and Columbus coming up. Columbus is fighting for a spot. Pittsburgh is fighting for position. Buffalo's out. Vancouver's out. Chicago's out. Well,
Chicago will be out by the time they
will be out. Right. And the Blues have the Rangers, the Devils, Avalanche, Blackhawks, Flyers, and Canucks. The only team in the mix right now is the Avalanche. Or the Avalanche.
The way that this is cut together, it makes it look like we played 3 games in 3 days.
I know, doesn't it? Because there's the 31st in there. I was like, that's never happened.
Right. That would be awful.
Yeah, it would.
It's like guaranteed 2 injuries.
You play 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games in 8 days. Whew.
Oh God, no.
That sounds like Well, they could handle it because, to be honest, we played 3 games in 1 day in college in a tournament. That was rough.
Oh yeah, I remember those days. Same thing here. And looking at the schedule in terms of like the toughest, maybe back to back in here is probably Nashville. I think that Pittsburgh Columbus back to back is pretty tough. I mean, you got Winnipeg's got the Chicago, Minnesota, but I think Winnipeg can handle them pretty well. So with Nashville having, to me, the toughest back-to-back, if they lose both those games, and then the Blues, let's just say they win those 2 games against the Rangers and the Devils in this back-to-back this weekend, all of a sudden you're talking Blues taking second.
Well, we have a game in hand too.
Right. Yeah. And all we have to do is win that game in hand.
Right. And because we win the tiebreaker.
Yeah.
So I mean, it is quite possible, and getting ahead of ourselves, and you got to play the games, whatever. Yeah, we have lesser opponents than they do the next 2 games, but I mean, based on the schedule, it is quite possible that after the next 2 games, we'll be in second place. It's quite possible. And then with a game in hand to play against Colorado, which could be rough.
Could be, yeah.
They could be fighting. And Vegas just scored again, 3-2 Colorado. We got ourselves a game. Awesome.
Let's get him turned on a dime.
Yeah.
Paulie Walnuts gets one, and then Riley Smith.
5 minutes
Power
to go.
Play goal.
Yeah, 5 minutes to go in the second period.
Yeah. This game ain't over.
Maybe the Blues will clinch tonight. Who knows? Hot takes on Twitter. We asked for some hot takes, and we got a couple. Jesse Hill, who is at Blues Rink Rat, replied to us and said, "Is Berube the guy moving forward, or does it depend what the team does in the playoffs? And do you sign Why Not Winnington for Jake Allen money?" I would say we've discussed this to death. I'm still in the same boat as you. Wait until the offseason. You talk to Quenneville first, and unless we go to the finals,
right?
I mean, if I'm solidly in. Talk to Quenneville first if they haven't already. Talk to him and just see. If he doesn't want to come here, then Berube's in the conversation.
I mean, I see scenarios where Berube gets it, other than Quenneville declines it. I think if he gets us, we make a strong push and we have a couple of bad breaks that we lose out in the playoffs. You give him a couple of years. You definitely don't give him more than any coach. I really don't think given the way that the Blues have been, they married themselves to Ken Hitchcock, and that should have been over a long time before it was. You give any coach a couple of years. I mean, Quenneville, he's probably gonna want long-term security. Maybe you give that guy it, but if
how much is long-term?
5 years.
Somebody was saying 6 years. 6 or 7. I'm like, no.
6
years is ridiculous for a coach.
I'll say I don't think any coach gets 6. How long did Babcock get? Did he get 5?
He got 8.
That's Toronto.
8. Oh, he did get 8. That's right.
Toronto, though. That's different.
Yeah.
That's a different story.
Right. And I don't know. I just, like I said, I see multiple ways that Berube gets it. Basically he, even if we say we lose in a 7-game series to Nashville in the first round, and we were there in every game, but had it been for 1 or 2 breaks, I think I'm not going to kick him to the curb just for that, unless he gives a Ken Hitchcock answer. I'm gonna have to take a couple of weeks to figure out what we did wrong.
And Allen's my guy.
Yeah.
I like what Berube's done. How can you not like how the team has performed under him? You just, I mean, it's all about winning. He's getting the results. I love it.
Right.
But I'd hate to do something before you need to.
Right. And I was talking, just talking with my parents last night about Mike Van Ryn and how he's flourished since Mike Yo's been gone. I think Mike Yo micromanaged the defense. And once he was gone, the defense really has flourished with, Larry Robinson, kind of set Van Ryn on a path, and it looks like that worked out. And the D's doing extremely well.
It's not even funny how much better we are in our own end. It is. I mean, how many times did we talk on our shows about how missed assignments all the time? Play
constant.
Goalies getting hung out to dry. Just guys left all alone. Just stupid mistakes, and just it's like, do you guys even know what you're doing? It was just nuts.
Yeah, I mean, and again, Bouwmeester was injured. Probably should have been playing, but I mean, the guys that you expected to be able to rely on, Joel Edmondson, how many boneheaded plays did he have in the first 20 games?
Pietrangelo.
Yeah.
Well, Pietrangelo, yeah. I mean, we were all calling for him to be gone and stripped the captaincy and, sent to Winnipeg.
Colorado scored again. 4-2.
Yeah, you go back and you watch one of those games. If you have Game Center, go back and watch one of those early season games, and even the games they were winning. Even the Toronto. I remember that Toronto game, and they won, I think 2-1 or 1-0, whatever that game was. There's multiple times that Jake Allen was left to hang out and dry, and he came up big with a big save, and he had to. You can't rely on that, even that, to get your wins more often than not with any goalie back there, let alone it being Jake Allen.
Not Binnington. Subban
just gave up a Jake Allen style goal.
He gave up a street hockey goal. It was he looked small.
Yeah.
He looked small in net there.
And way off angle.
Off angle, looked small. His trapper was down. His blocker was down.
Oh, we have a video
review. Challenge. While they challenge this, our hot take number 2 is from O'Reillysaurus Rex at Tice Huck, who is in the YouTube chat tonight.
Hang on, but before we get to that, should we not kind of talk about his question about why not Binnington for Jake Allen money?
Yeah, good point. Good, nice. I did want to say address that. No.
Absolutely not.
I'm not giving him 4 years, $4 million. No. I'm thinking a bridge contract, maybe a couple years, 2.5, something like that.
1 to 2 years, kind of a prove yourself deal.
Yeah, if he signs into a Jake Allen contract, I'm like, are you kidding me? No.
Well, the way that I see it is, you give him the 1 or 2 years. I know a lot of people say, well, what if he plays this way all the way through? Then you're gonna have to deal with signing him to an 8-year extension because he won't take anything less for $6 million per. Tell you what, we'll deal with that when we come to it. Like, I think that's a lot of. I don't know Doug Armstrong, but I gotta think. What are we doing? You're signaling goal.
Yeah, they challenged it for interference, maybe.
How?
There was
might have just been a timeout.
No, it was a challenge.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, they used.
Used the challenge as a timeout
in the second period.
Yeah, I mean,
why not?
Yeah, I'm sorry, but twice on that play, Subban is a foot too far to the left.
Yeah,
and he got burned the second time.
So I think that with Binnington, you say you kind of bite. You kind of bite it and say, all right, well, you know what? If he does perform this way, then you just deal with it. You say, okay, we'll have to deal with that when he becomes a UFA. We'll have to sign him to extension then. Right. You do it now, you're kind of just taking away the option of saying, hey, he fell back down to earth. He's got a 2.7 GAA, and we're looking to possibly bring in another goalie. And that way you're not paying a guy Jake Allen money to sit on the bench for anybody else to be between the pipes.
You don't. If you have not learned from your previous mistakes, you're an idiot. You cannot sign him to a Jake Allen like contract. That's just ridiculous. So, hot take number 2, O'Reillysaurus Rex at Tice Huck, who's in the YouTube chat tonight, at Tice_Huck36. The St. Louis Blues have the ability to sweep the Lightning in a playoff series. And I think he clarified it in the YouTube chat. He said he's not saying they will, he's saying they could. And a lot of teams can, but they've played Tampa Bay good this year. They scare the shit out of me. I mean, like they should. They're fucking awesome. But I
don't see any scenario in which the Blues, with the exception of Vasilevsky being injured and they have to go with Louis Domingue, that the Blues, that anybody would sweep them. Tampa.
Yeah,
we had 2 phenomenal games against them, but I mean that's an inch and a half from being a tie game with the Blues going back shorthanded.
Yeah,
the other night.
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you, Bill knows something about an inch and a half. Sorry,
it beats elevator buttons. That's like a quarter.
It's not how long it is; it's how you use it.
Right. Next up for the Blues, the Rangers.
The New York Rangers.
The New York Rangers. On a Friday, they're 29-33 and on 13. They are out of the playoffs.
And they lost to the Bruins tonight.
Yep.
So hopefully
they're actually kind of impressive to me. I don't know how many Rangers games you guys have watched, but I thought this was going to be a dumpster fire of a year for them. I thought their only saving grace was they got 2 decent goalies. You know, maybe they'd only lose 3-1 instead of 7-1 every game. But I mean, they were in the playoff race there for a while. So, you know, this team, it's young. They're quick. They could come in and surprise the Blues. So I guess come into Madison Square Garden and surprise the Blues. So I'm just hoping, you know, we've had the conversation on this show before about playing down to your competition. I just hope that the Blues are ready for a quick young Rangers team who could easily step in and score a couple goals early.
Right. And Georgiev has been like, I expect we'll get Georgiev instead of Lundqvist in goal for the Rangers on Friday. And he's really been impressive.
He has.
I've gotten to see him a few times over the last few weeks. And I mean, that the game up in Toronto, man, he put on a show. And I totally see that as, you know, the Blues blowing their game in hand and, you know, just going in overconfident against either of these teams coming up on the weekend.
If anybody has a quick hot take or 2 cents they want to give real quick, I tweeted out the link to join us on the show. So it's on Twitter at LGB Radio.
You have 6 minutes.
You have 6 minutes to give your 2 cents on the Blues. So
I see a beautiful bald man has joined
he
us.
Is bald. He is shaved. I wasn't sure. Wasn't sure.
I think he had a hat on last week.
Zed has.
I did have a hat on last week.
Okay, maybe that's why.
I have recall.
Welcome back to the show, Mr. Zed. How are you?
Fantastic. How are you, sir?
You know, I'm living. I'm good. So what's on your mind? What are you thinking?
I'm still sticking with the Blues taking first.
Oof.
I like it.
He likes it.
I like it a lot.
Who wants to bet Zed?
I will not. I will never bet on the Blues ever.
Okay.
Because I don't bet on my team. Because I am not good at betting. So I'm just gonna say that the next 2 games will be the deciding factor for Winnipeg. They have the Islanders, and then they have the Canadians.
Yep.
The next 2 games.
Talking about
those are my that's my thing. Is if we do that, if they don't play very good against those 2. Then we have a shot. If they don't, well, the reason why I say that is because the very last 4 games are against 3 of the 4 are playoff contenders, and they're away.
The Canadians are currently holding on the wild cards, but the last wild card spot, right, Bill? Yeah, they're in the yes, they are.
Yeah.
So they're motivated. They should bring their best against Winnipeg. And the Islanders, you know, they're as well. I mean, they're fighting
for their spot on the level of,
right. They're trying to catch Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
So they're battling Pittsburgh, and Pittsburgh plays Nashville.
Yep.
Next. So it's all very interesting.
And I feel pretty good about Pittsburgh winning that game in Pittsburgh.
I'm not. You know what? I'm not gonna get ahead of myself whatsoever. I'm taking this one game at a time, and I'm gonna just. Yeah, because we could shit the bed and get 1 point out of 4 possible against the Rangers in New Jersey. And
right.
So I'm just
overconfident after the 4-0.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of the way it works, right?
Blues.
Yeah, 2 games you should win. And granted, they're on the road. They've been a good road team, but Allen gets one of these starts too. So.
Yep, and the Blues don't play so well against the bottom 10 teams.
Well, they did smoke the Devils earlier this.
They did. But you know, we'll see how it goes.
The Colorado game worries me. The Chicago game worries me. The other 2, Philadelphia and Vancouver. So the Colorado game worries me. The Chicago game worries me. I'm getting
Mute yourself,
I'm gonna.
guy.
There, no, hey, guy, I had to mute you. I was getting. We're hearing ourselves on the speakers there.
Turn it off. Probably put in headphones if you can. That'd be
headphones.
helpful.
Headphones if you can, guy, and then we don't hear ourselves because that's not cool. We can't. I can't think when that
I
happens.
hate hearing myself.
I can't.
We do have beautiful speaking voices, but
Right.
I don't know if I really want to hear them all the time.
So let's go back to the.
I hear myself.
My bad, guys.
Oh, that's cool.
Hey, guy, what's going on, buddy?
Guy,
Hey,
what's
guy?
up? What time is it
there?
there, guy? Hello, guy. Are you with us?
Aloha.
Yeah.
Welcome.
There he is.
How's it
About
going? Guy?
time I finally get to join you. I
All
had a
right.
week day off. They had to close my Pizza Hut today.
Oh, cool. It's Pizza Hut, huh? Ah. Hey, you guys still got that pretzel crust? I'm gonna take that as a no.
I can't hear.
I love the pretzel crust at Pizza Hut. It's good stuff.
I'm sorry.
Stars
you guys
just scored. They're 2-0 against Calgary.
So, hey, can you hear us, guy?
I guess not.
I don't think you can. All right.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I can hear it.
Okay, here we go.
Wow, it's a very long delay. Guy. So, what do you want to sound off about? What do you want to talk about?
It's like 3 people walked over you there.
We should have about 10 seconds before he responds.
Yeah. What?
What my contest is about. Okay. Oh, this delay is hard for me. So one of the guys that follows my show has a set of pro set hockey cards from 91, 92. They are the ones that are also in French. They're unopened. So I'm going to be giving those. I'm going to give 2 sets of them away. 18 cards to one guy, 18 cards to another person, I should say. And the way you get them is I did a live today on my channel, the Hawaii Blues Blue Note Fan Report. I asked 20 trivia questions. You answer those questions, you email them to me, and then I'll at the end of the season I'll pick 2 winners.
Okay.
Very cool.
Are they open pro set packs
They're
or
unopened? They are unopened. They're original unopened cards.
cool? You know what? I have some either score hockey cards or pro set ones unopened. Not a lot, but I have a.
That was
some.
back in the day that I collected hockey cards.
That was that was a good era of hockey too. The early 90s. That was fantastic.
Yeah, goalies were starting to get some good paint jobs on the mouse.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nobody beats Cheevers though.
Different era. Different era.
Yeah.
Can't compare eras. I mean, yeah.
No, you can't.
I put the link to the video that has it on your chat.
Okay.
You have to start about the 24-minute mark.
Okay. So, and when are you going to give that? When are you going to announce the winner?
And by the way, I also said on my show a couple of weeks ago that I thought the Blues were going to take the division.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
I said that.
So you and Zed are in the same boat there.
This is fun.
There must be something with the Pacific Ocean going on. The link
It's the wind patterns.
Underneath the Pacific Ocean.
Yes. A shark must be somebody from San Jose. One of the sharks must be gnawing on one of the lines. Somebody
That
called
and-
the Teal Town people.
If we all had solar panels, I think that we would have better reception here.
Aren't they making all new homes requiring solar panels and all new California homes?
I don't know if that law's made it all the way to Hawaii yet. All right.
I can't hear him if he's talking.
No, I don't. I think there's a delay or something, or he's not hearing us. So
There's a bad delay, but yeah, he's
so So Zed, Binnington for the Calder. What are your thoughts on that?
They're gonna say he hasn't played enough games.
Okay.
I mean, everything says everything. His record says he should be a top candidate, but they're gonna say he hasn't played enough games. That's bad.
I agree with you. I mean, that's the thing. He hasn't played enough games to. That's the only thing. If he had played 20 more games,
he'd be in.
Same numbers. Oh yeah,
he'd be over half a season. He'd be in.
It'd actually be a really great conversation.
Yeah,
he had played 15 or 20 more games, and so who wins it, him or Pedersen? That'd be a really good conversation.
Right. You can't. I mean, it sucks that he's gonna lose out on this because he truly is. He is the reason why the Blues are where they are right now. And I know that someone was commenting, and I forget who it was that was on there. I closed that link so I didn't get the feedback. But talking about O'Reilly going for the heart, and
that was me.
Yeah. Oh, that was you. Okay.
That was me.
So they actually said that on the game. They're talking about O'Reilly, a possible candidate for the Hart Trophy, and I'm like, oh man, I tell you what, I get it, but
here's my argument.
But the downside, let me throw my argument on that is if he truly was the most valuable player on the team, if he truly was the most valuable player on the team, then the first half of the season would have mattered. And yeah, he has been the backbone of our team the entire year, but the first half of the season would have mattered, and the first half of the season didn't matter. It didn't matter for the Blues because after the first half of the season, we were in last place. And yeah, he, again, like I said, backbone of the team, but nothing happened until you had Binnington roll in, and Kucherov has done something that hasn't been done. What, 10 years now? Over 10 years, 120 plus points.
Yeah, it's hard to not give that to Kucherov. He's kind of far and away the choice.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's even I mean, don't get me wrong. I think O'Reilly is going to be in the conversation, but he might get 3 votes for it. Kucherov's going to get,
I agree. Kucherov's going to get the majority of the votes, but hear my argument out. First of all, you said the first part of the season didn't matter and we were in last place. Well, there's a caveat to that. We were in last place, but we had 5 games in hand on most teams and 3 games on others. So we weren't really in last place. Not only that, you take him off. There were a lot of games where he won for us. You would lose more games and we wouldn't be in the position we're in now. Binnington has some to do with it, but then again, so does Allen. In a stretch since February 1st, when they went on that, or late January, early February, when they went on it, they both lost the same number of games. If I remember correctly, I think they both lost 3 games. Maybe Allen's lost 1 more, but they both lost the same amount of games. The defense, and it was mentioned earlier, has played much better. That has a lot to do with it.
Oh, 100%.
You take O'Reilly off this team. This team is not a playoff team. You take Kucherov off of, and I probably said it wrong, I promise. You take him off of Tampa Bay. They're still a playoff team, and they're still going to be the President's Trophy winner. He's not.
I disagree.
No, that's my point of view.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with Kane. You take Kane off of Chicago, where are they at? They're in the same place. They're not going to make the playoffs one way or the other. O'Reilly has done more. The most valuable player is the player that has been the most valuable to his team, in my eyes. And O'Reilly has been more valuable to the Blues than Kucherov has been to Tampa Bay, in my eyes. I'm not saying that that's the way the vote's going to go. I'm going to say that's what's in my eyes. Because I believe that we're going to have 4 people up for trophies. We're going to have Binnington up for the Calder, and I don't think he should win it. I don't think he will win it, and I don't think he should. We're going to have Booberry up for Coach of the Year. And again, same thing. I don't think he should win it there. I'm still not sold on him. I think we'll have O'Reilly up for the Selkie. And then here's the one that'll probably get me killed. I think Armstrong's going to be up for General Manager of the Year. And it's going to be for the moves he didn't make, not the moves he made.
Yeah. I'll give you on Berube on being in the talks for Coach of the Year. I mean, I think he's earned that right to be in talks for Coach of the Year. And trust me, as a Blues fan, I would love to have O'Reilly in that talk. But here's the deal: you take Kucherov out of Tampa Bay, they are not the President's Cup trophy. They don't win it. It's not going to happen. Do they make the playoffs? Yeah, they make the playoffs. Right now they're in a let's figure this out mode, because they're not going to have the same team next year. They don't have the salary cap to be able to keep the same team next year, because there are so many unrestricted free agents and restricted free agents that they're not going to be able to re-sign all of these players this year. And I mean, you got to give the nod to Braden Point, and you got to. But you take Kucherov off that team, okay, and they do not win the President's Cup.
Here's my argument to that.
He is the guy that helps them get there.
Okay, here's my argument to that. Right now, as we stand, you're saying that Kucherov is worth 12 wins, because that's how many wins they are ahead of Boston. Boston only has 103 points. I don't think that he's worth that many points.
Oh, I think he's worth more than that.
You think he's worth more than 12 wins?
Yeah, okay, so Kucherov is over 120 points total. They have a plus 100 on their scoring. Yeah, he's worth more than 12 wins. 100% across the board. He's worth more than 12.
Okay, agree to disagree. I don't see it, because I don't think Gretzky was worth 12 wins.
Yeah,
in his heyday. Well, let me not know in his later part. You know, when he was scoring 39 goals or 50 goals in 39 games, he was worth 12 wins. Kucherov's not worth 12 wins. A goalie might be worth 12 wins, not a forward.
Well, again, like I said, he's at over 120 points. I mean,
well, yeah, but his line mates have
who's the last player got 120 points in a league? I mean, in this era of hockey, who's the last person who got 120 points? I mean, it's been over a decade, right? I mean,
I'm not sure, to be honest.
I'm going to go to the pros here, because Bill, you're one of these like massive stat people, and with that grin.
I mean, Kucherov and the entire fucking Lightning team are just having an insane season.
They are.
You know, I think that.
Okay, hold on.
He's the emotional leader of that team, and everybody's following him.
McDavid has 112 points. Is he worth 12 wins?
No.
Well, I mean, you're only talking a difference of 10 points. That's what you're talking a difference of. 10 points between the two of them.
Yeah, but the difference is
no. You're talking numbers. That's what you do. I mean, it was numbers,
right?
And in numbers, the difference between Connor McDavid and Kucherov is 9 points. So how can 9 points be worth 12 wins? That's what you're saying.
Yeah, I follow you. I'm with you.
Okay.
But also I'm gonna spin this right back around on you, where Calgary. Oh, by the way, Calgary just scored. It's 2-1. I'll spin this back around with you. It's all about most valuable player and leader of teams. And Connor McDavid is the only person that's really kind of scoring. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, Draisaitl scored his first hat trick last night.
43 goals now.
Draisaitl.
Yeah, 43, 44.
Yeah. Those two are the only two that are really kind of producing for that team. And they have absolutely zero defense. Zero whatsoever defense. And on top of that, they also have, what happened to Talbot? Did he get traded?
Yeah, he's traded to New Jersey or Philly.
Right. And he's not starting for either one of them.
Yeah. Zed, I'm not trying to. I don't want to sound like I'm arguing with you. I do agree with you that he's going to win the Hart.
Oh no, this is an argument, and arguments are fantastic because another word for argument is debate. So feel free. This is an argument.
I wanted to get my point of view out there. That's all.
Yeah, no, and your point of view is fair, and I totally. And I get what you're saying on the McDavid points. I follow you where you're at, but the leader of the team. I mean, the O'Reilly's leader of our team, and he doesn't even. I mean, he's 50 points away from Kucherov's total points.
Yeah, and I agree with that. And my favorite point is the eye test. Right. I believe in the eye test, and where it fails me is with Allen because I still think Allen's better than what he's played. But with the eye test tells me that O'Reilly and Kucherov are on the same level, even though they don't have the same amount of points. They mean the same to their team.
I
can see Kurt's look on Kurt's face. He doesn't agree with me on that one at all.
No. Actually, I follow you on that.
No, I'm not disagreeing with you on that. Riley is not extremely important to this team. He is, but he's not at Kucherov's level either. I mean, Kucherov has higher talent level surrounding him than the Blues do. More elite talent around surrounding him too. So there's that. But I'm not. I mean, you guys are arguing. I think the thing with this is that O'Reilly is an extremely valuable piece to the Blues, and Kucherov is an extremely valuable piece to the Lightning. Who's more valuable to the team? I mean, I don't know. I mean, hockey's a team game. What are you going to do? I mean, I think Tampa Bay has more guns around it to absorb the loss of Kucherov than the Blues have to absorb the loss of O'Reilly.
Agreed.
So I agree with that.
But I mean, it's not even close, really. But so. But good debate, guys. You guys can exchange Twitter handles and take it, spill it out on Twitter if you want.
Say again.
Let's take this to the parking lot.
Zed, you're not on Facebook, are you? Are you on Twitter? Are you, Zed?
I am at Doug Johannes, but I don't ever really get on. I follow JR, Let's Go Blues Radio, Luke Karak.
And Hawaii Blues fan now, right?
The importance ones, right?
Right. And Hawaii Blues fan, right?
Hawaii Blues fan. And then I also have the Twitter channel, or not Twitter channel, the YouTube channel.
There you go.
The Hawaii Blues fans Blue Note Fan Report.
There you go.
My little pregame show that I try and get out before every game.
I tell you what, on a different subject, I'm really kind of blown away about how massively Colorado's manhandling Vegas. And Subban is playing an absolutely horrible game. I mean, it's just bad. The last goal he gave up was Allen-esque.
Yeah,
they're finally playing like an expansion team.
That's what we talked about. Yeah, it was like a street hockey goalie playing small on a net. It was
the last two goals he gave up were very Allen-esque, and Stars just won.
Yeah, Stars just won. They lost Bishop towards the end of that game.
Yeah,
they did. Yeah, I messaged that in the group chat earlier today or earlier.
So, where can you want to tell folks where people can find you, Guy? On the social medias.
Yeah. Hey, Guy.
Hey, Guy.
Hey, buddy.
Pal.
Oh. Are you talking to me or him?
I'm talking. Is your name? Well, Zed's Zed, and you're Guy.
Okay.
So
Yeah, but I have bad hearing, so.
Okay. All right. Sorry.
I'm on Hawaii Blues Fan on Twitter. I'm all over the groups, Guy Bensing, and my YouTube channel is the Hawaii Blues Fans Blue Note Fan Report. And by the way, Curt, you got me earlier today. You three have an open invitation to come on my show anytime you want. We'll set it up.
All right. Sounds good.
It'd be a hell of a time. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Right.
I'll let it partake.
I'll figure out a way to make it happen.
Okay.
You're gonna fly us out there, right, guys?
Yes.
No. I'll fly you out there for the many times that you've flown me to St. Louis. It will equally amount.
Huh.
I don't like that response.
Yeah. I'm not sure that's fair to us.
Yeah.
All right.
No, that sounds good. Let's do that. And Zed, anything you want to promote?
Nah. Let's go Blues.
Yeah, let's go Blues.
Let's go
I
Blues.
like that.
Thanks, guys, for coming on and for the rigorous discussion. It was a good time.
It was good.
Yeah. But that will do it for this week's show.
Do you want me to throw anything out at the end?
Like what?
Like how you always get mad at me? When I do that?
my closing with your. Yeah, you can.
Wait, one more thing. Wait,
one more thing. I mean, yeah, because this show's not long enough as it is already.
Wait, one more thing. Okay, I'm done.
All right, I will cut that out for the podcast. That will do it for this week's show.
No, you won't.
I will not. For Jeff Ponder and Bill Day, I'm Curt Price, and thanks again to Zed and Guy for coming on. That will conclude this week's broadcast of Let's Go Blues Radio. Until next time, everyone, let's go Blues.
Aloha.
Let's go Blues.
Let's go Blues.
Let's go Blues.
Bleeding blue with you.
The Chiefs are at home tonight against Cyanosport at the War Memorial at 8. Good seats are still available. A look at sports. I think that went very well.
Thank you for listening to Let's Go Blues Radio. Now take off, hosers.
Well, there's 90 minutes of your life you'll never get back. Sorry.
St. Louis Blues, St. Louis Blues. Have you heard the news about our St. Louis Blues? They've only just begun, they're on their way to #1. Now there's no more blues for our St. Louis Blues. The Blues are